one form of heart disease. So if you count it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, one of us. Now you can count whichever direction. Meaning it has reared its head near to what was. You look at, now you say, but what is the cause of all this? The issue is non-communicable diseases across the board. Are linked to lifestyle. No, it is lifestyle. What we eat, what we engulf, what we smoke, what we drink, all of those ones, all of them get in the body. The only output is one thing, form of exercise. So that body of ours is such an efficient system. Look at the neonate. She just sucks a few meals, but she's healthy and growing. The rest of the time, she's passing urine, she's passing stool, and exercise. Why? The system is meant to convert everything you put in to energy and useful issue for handling the rest of the body. Growth, dealing with emergencies. And once you handle it within, and God was so kind, so kind, so kind. He made you with a lot of mathematics, a lot of numbers, a lot of. But unfortunately, and the way He made it, once you conform to it, you can actually live up to 100 years that my brother was talking about. And indeed, most of the people who are living their 100 years live a simple life. They live what? A simple life. They gather fruits, they gather food, they just boil or eat raw. The fruits are for raw, the vegetables are just for steaming, the potatoes are for boiling. Whether it is meat, it is just for boiling and adding a few things. It is our life. And when you do that one, they are crushed, there is enough fiber, and the rest of the thing. When somebody goes to the toilet, a local person who has eaten only those ones, it is 1 minute, somebody has finished swing and the stool. The modern person eating complex food will take 30 minutes. And for us, once you look into that toilet, you know, there are problems. There are what? Problems. So, what takeaway messages? The body is so kind that before it crashes, it gives you a sign. And there are problems, we call them what? Markers, things which are associated with these catastrophic things. Most of the heart patients, people dying of heart attack, people dying of stroke, people dying of, when you get them, there are some very clear signs or things which preempt that. One is overweight. Members, it is not something to be ashamed of. Everybody wants to be healthy, but there are limits. And if you ask him, how do you judge that you are overweight? One time the president asked him, you are talking about numbers. What about my people in the village? They don't have those scales. So I told him, sir, if a normal human being stands up and you are not pregnant, and you stand, let me stand in the center here. And all of us, I'm inviting you to stand up, please. Okay. Stand. And when you put your chin on the chest, bend it as much as possible. Put it on the chest. If you are in a clear place, you should be able to see your toes. If you are not pregnant and you cannot see those toes, then there is a problem.
But the breasts.
Let us factor in the issue of the breast, but the clear one is the what? A pregnancy. But even the breast, if you separate them, you should be able to what? To see your toes. If you don't see your toes, already there is what? Not the tip of the shoe and the what, but it would be best if you are without what? Shoes. It just means if you can't see your toes, it means you're already obese. And obesity is one of the big what? Indicators. Now, that body of ours, which is meant supposed to carry us for 100 years, you have a certain calculation, a relationship between your size, that is height, which does not change, and the weight you are supposed to carry. If you get your weight, like for me, I could say 80 or 79. And then you get your height in meters, could be 1.78. Square it. That's 1.78 times 1.78. The number you get divided by your weight should give you a figure of 25. That is the body mass index, crudely. And each one of us here has what? A telephone. And so get your weight in, say, kilos. It could be 80 kilos, it could be 100 kilos, it could be 25 kilos, 45. Then divide it by the product of your height in meters. Now, why am I telling you this? Is that these figures and monetary list is within your control. Is within your control. So even here, we already have a figure, and everybody knows once that figure is above 25 and approaching 30, you are already excess. Somebody says you are better off if your height is high. Because the higher, that is where the marvel of God is. That is where the marvel, it is like you look at a vehicle or you look at a bicycle. They say, Raleigh size 22, size 20. Only the vehicle, they say horsepower is the powers. This vehicle can hold so much. This vehicle can hold this tonnage. So don't overweigh the structure that God gave you. So there are many things we can talk about. So one is that obesity, overweight. Two is the issue of the blood pressure. Your blood pressure is supposed to be around 120/80. Around 120/80. Then God gives you a margin. Should it go towards 140, problems are what come. Should it fall below 80, also problems are what come. The lower figure is usually 70. Now, why we stress blood pressure? That is the pumping mechanism to transport your blood from the heart to the legs to the brain to everywhere. And that is the power that we use for measuring the power of the heart. So I'm telling you this, look at common things. The things which are bringing us problems is salt intake. Salt what? Intake. That molecule, in fact, it is Gandhi who said the 4 powders of death. The 4 what? White powders. One is sugar, 2 is what? The salt, the other one is the wheat. The wheat. So salt, salt, salt. Our ancestors never used sodium chloride. They used potassium chloride out of burning of what? Of ash, burning of plants, and the rest of the thing. It is the healthier salt. The sodium chloride is a danger. It collects water. Put salt there by morning, it has accumulated water and it increases the load. So potassium, those people have already shifted from that potassium, that sodium chloride. They are now using lots of salt with potassium, which is more friendly to the body. Now we are talking about things we ingest intentionally. Things like alcohol. Alcohol outcompetes the body's utilization of glucose, and it completely gets you. It's like when you are competing for a walkaway, and then somebody who is stronger comes and blocks. However much, even if you have the strength, you can't use the line. So if it is like a big truck coming and blocking the road there, even if your vehicles are normal this way, you can't cross. So the body starts starving amidst plenty, just like you look at diabetes, and at the end of the day, the elasticity of the heart muscle is lost. Why am I telling you all this? It is because those are the things which are the calculus, lifestyle, what it? Now, look at issues of low exercise. No, first of all, food which is low in vegetables and fruits. My God, God was so kind. We are talking about the balanced diet. Your food every time should have at least 4 components. One is the carbohydrates and all the other foods which can bring you 1/3 of your plate. The other third should have all the fruits, and the other third should have vegetables, and you crown it with plain water. That is the balanced diet. Each one has a role, and God was so kind. Look at the fruits. He has painted them with all colors and the rest of the things. You look at each one. The purple is yellow, the mango is red, the avocado is. You can put on your plate and you see all the colors of the rainbow. Just to convince you that that is the right food. And that is why man was put in the garden where he can harvest things, even if many of them eat raw, and get them here and drink water. Now, you look for a pawpaw in the village, you can't catch. People have cut down all the mango trees. People have deer forest. You look at vegetables. Our country is rich. Go in any part of the country. If you can't get vegetables, cut grass and eat it. You can't fail to get vegetables or grass. You can eat whether it is nakati, whether it is susa, whether it is marakwani, whether it is jojo, whether it is cabbage, whether it is, if you fail, cut grass. So the issue is you must have vegetables. You must have vegetables. I'm labeling this because you get people spending so much to eat junk. To pay for junk. Food which is only carbohydrates, fried using all the oils that you don't know about, and at the end of the day, the cumulative amount of carbohydrates you have taken, the body cannot use all of it. And as a result, if you have a normal liver, all the excess, it converts it into cholesterol. And then struggles to find where to keep the cholesterol, hoping that one day you will starve. And the very person will take 10 years without lacking food. So the body starts struggling with cholesterol, where to put it. and that is how it ends up putting it in vessels under the skin to produce that thing which prevents you from seeing your toes, to have all these other things to put on weight and block the flow of blood and predispose you to heart attack, to kidney failure, to strokes, to all these things. Why? It is because you have failed to tame or to balance your input and output. Unfortunately, the output is only through exercise. Please learn. Please be able to do somewhat exercise. Please, exercise is the key as of now. If you cannot control what goes in, you can't control your appetite, you can't control your what, at least burn. At least burn, and you come back to the body mass index of 25. Now the exercises, I'm talking here to our legal fraternity and the rest of the things. The issue is this. If you can't control it at your level, let now governments and all other bodies come in to help. And the issue we're talking about, a child, the life cycle of the human being should all be given exercise. When the baby is in the uterus, it at least does somewhat exercise. And you hear the man saying, my child is alive because it is kicking. When it is born, it should be given enough room, at least even in the house. Moving from there, school. No school should be given a license to operate when it doesn't have adequate space for children to do what? To exercise. Because they are going to spend most of the time. The exercise is not for trophies, not for competition. It is to enable this child grow and expand its lungs, develop them much so that they can be able to live with these lungs for 100 years. So if you deny your child exercise, you are completely denying your child all the opportunities of growth, and you will grow or start normal life, approach adult life incapacitated. So all our schools for the administrators, a school without facilities for exercise should not, because it is going to breed for us the future heart attacks, the future obesities, the future kidney failures, the future strokes. Please exercise. So all these post-primary institutions have exercise space. You go to universities, you go to all these training institutions, they have enough space for exercise. Now the calamity comes when somebody qualifies at 25 years. He comes to join government service, and we give him a clean piece of bill, that medical form 5 which must. Then somebody goes to the district to where the only 13 districts had all the space. You looked at Moroto, it had a hotel, it had a police station, it had playgrounds, it had all these, even golf of course. That is where our people are supposed to spend their life from 25 years to 60, 35 years. If you don't give adequate space for these people to do exercise, now the districts being started off, they are taking on people, younger people, and keeping them without space for exercise, brewing future. So I have said all this, and so emotionally, because even what delayed me was somebody who was with a pending heart attack. And when I looked at her, I looked at what the numbers were. I'm doing some form of exercise. Now,